This is Bumper to Bumper, the car show. Drive in anxious and cruise out confident. With the best automotive information for your vehicle. And now your hosts, Matt Allen and Dave Riccio.
Well, shucky-doo, and welcome to Bumper Radio. I am Dave Riccio, here along with Matt Allen. And together we are your KTAR car guys, heard every Saturday from 11 to noon. At Bumper to Bumper Radio, we're helping you, the motoring public, that's you, have a better overall car experience. So if you got car questions, we've got car answers. So we are looking forward to your phone calls at 602-277-5827, 602-277-KTAR. And for the shy types, you can text us at 411-923. Today on the Bumper to Bumper roadmap, Matt, we're going to have to come up with a fact or fiction here pretty quick. We're going to be doing a fact or fiction. We're going to be taking open phones and text for most of the show. And then New Year's resolutions for your car, because it's that time of year we got to. It's a moral imperative to talk about this kind of stuff.
It's time of year to make some commitments that we will never commit to. Right?
Right. Well, I'm going to tell you the number one commitment that you need to make for your car this year. If you do not have a relationship with an auto shop, you need to get one. All right? If you're an orphan customer, I meet so many orphan customers that come in, and I do get to fix something on their car, but I can tell the car's been serviced by like 75 different people.
Yep.
And they all had a different mentality for how they wanted to maintain the car. And so you get this hodgepodge of auto repair instead of someone just taking care of the car.
Yeah, I talked to a woman this week that was one of those orphan-type customers, a little bit here and then some over here because someone likes them, and then here and here. And it's a good way to waste money, duplicate services, confuse things, detach responsibility potentially.
Yeah. No, you gotta go have a relationship with the shop. You gotta know your dentist. You gotta know your general practitioner. You gotta have that relationship. Even for your child, you're not gonna take them to a different pediatrician. Every time they go in, you're gonna find a pediatrician that's gonna take him up through the age where he's got to go get a real doctor. I mean, not pediatrician's
right.
Not a real doctor.
So yeah, watch out, Dave. My wife might give you a beat down. So. You've either got the shop, you have a good mechanic, and you have that relationship, great, stay there. If you don't, you need to find one, and that's what we're here partially for, to help you find those guys, and they're listed at bumpertobumperradio.com. So we've established that we need a shop to go to. We no longer want to be an orphan. We want to go home to the same place every time we have a problem or need some simple maintenance. But as far as resolutions for your car, I guess we want to resolute to take care of it. And many people are already doing that. Some people think they are, and maybe they're not. But, Dave, I think I take pretty good care of my truck. I mean, I do own an auto repair shop, so oftentimes the owner's car is the one that's most neglected, the cobbler's kid type of thing. But, I just had my car detailed, and I think that's a good place for somebody to start. Because if you have a clean car and a clean car is a happy car.
Yeah.
And whether you're just driving your car down the road or parking your car in the parking lot or taking it into the shop, everybody likes a clean car. It's a sign that you care about your car. I bet if your car is just disgusting, horrible car in the parking lot, somebody might just not really think twice about opening the door into it if you're parked a little close to them. But if your car looks nice and it's clean,
I would say it's all about attitude, right?
Yeah,
so if you're taking care of your car and you're washing it and you're loving it, you've got a good attitude towards your car. And it's going to show over the life of the car.
Exactly.
If you don't have a good attitude towards your car, it's going to be all used up by the time you're done with it.
Yeah, well,
and before you're done with it, and you're not going to get to enjoy this car. And even you said get it detailed. As a matter of maintenance of your car, it's got to be waxed. One of the things that happens when they detail a car is they wax the car. Yeah. So I personally think a car should be waxed twice a year. For some, that may seem a little extreme, but get it detailed once a year and get it waxed.
You can spend varying degrees of money. You can get a $90 detail. It's a good detail. I mean, it's all right.
Right.
You can spend $300 on a detail at a detail specialist, depending on what kind of car you have, and they got overspray on them. But you know what I did, Dave? I tend to carry just a lot of crap accumulates in my car. So, but we see that with customers' cars too. We have to get in the trunk to check the spare tire. It's full of garbage. We've got
Junk in the trunk.
The glove box. We're looking for a receipt or have to get a number off the registration, and the glove box is overflowing. So, and that happened to me too. I mean, a
Costanza glove box.
Yeah, Costanza, like the wallet, exactly.
Boom! It blows up.
So I just got one of those totes from Home Depot, and before I took my truck about 3 weeks ago to get it detailed, I emptied everything. I mean, I emptied the glove box, the center console, pushed the seats all the way forward, went digging underneath the front seat, the back seat. Everywhere. You'd be amazed at what you find in there and how much junk doesn't need to go back. And then I took only what I need and put it back in the car. And half the other stuff just went right to the trash
Oh, is
can.
that where you found your badge to get in the station? Matt always calls me, dude, you got your badge?
That's been in my wallet forever. It's just a hard time keeping track of my wallet. That's the problem.
So go empty all the junk out of your trunk in your car, and you're going to find out how much of it you don't. You know, it's going to save on gas mileage.
Hey, emptying the junk in the trunk on the car is easier than emptying the junk in your trunk. That makes you go run around the block. You don't have to stay committed as long.
That's true. I had a customer come in with a clunking noise that happened going around corners. You know, just a basketball in the trunk.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's just junk in the trunk. You know. So it's funny. This noise is driving me crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
Clean it out once in a while. Hey, we had one time a car. The lady had a leak. Things leaking like in the back. That doesn't make sense. There was a bag of rotten groceries in there. She forgot about it. Dripped down in the. It moved over on the. This was an older rear-wheel drive GM car, and it's leaking out. So, but then what else, Dave? So the resolution is.
Get a shop. Get a relationship. Don't be an orphan customer. That's a good way to ruin a car, is to be an orphan customer. Mm-hmm. Okay, so you got to have that relationship. Get your car detailed. And then you know, it's like my dentist. When I go to my dentist and I get a cleaning, they go ahead and just schedule my next appointment, you know. And you're gonna go to the auto shop 3 times a year, okay? The average person drives 15,000 miles a year. If you're a 5,000-mile oil change, hey, you know, you can be there in March, you can be there in June, you're gonna be there in, you know, October. You know, kind of do it that way. So that is definitely, you know, kind of plan for that. And you need to also budget. You know, the other thing we talk about is stress and anxiety in relation to auto repair. It's stressful when you get caught off guard by it, okay? If you're getting caught off guard by auto repair, you know, your car is going to break eventually, or it's going to need maintenance. You know, it's not going to need maintenance eventually. It needs maintenance regularly.
Yeah,
you know?
It's going to eventually need a repair, but it always needs to be fed. It's just like the kids. You got to feed them constantly. And same thing with your car. You got to feed it to keep it going.
Just keep putting tokens in the machine. You just have to do it.
Yeah.
So you got to know that you're going to do that, and you can put that in your calendar now, so you're not caught off guard by it. The younger your car is, the less money you need to budget for auto repair. The older your car is, the more you need to budget for auto repair. So people say to me, they'll come to me and their car breaks down for the very first time, and the car's got 95,000 miles on it. They're like, the car's been great up until now.
I love that. I can't believe there's anything wrong with this car. You know, I've never done anything to it in 120,000 miles, and now all of a sudden you're telling me this? It's like, hello? Did you just hear what you just said? But, okay, so we're going to get the detail. We found the shop. So if you have your regular shop, they probably have a pretty good idea. If you know, they've been in there 3, 4, 5 times. I know at my shop, the same guy usually works on the car. We try to schedule it like that. But if you're that orphan, and now you've decided, hey, I'm going to listen. I'm going to do this. 18's my year to take care of my car. Maybe I just bought it. It's 2 years old, 3 years old, but I want to make it last. So find your shop. I would suggest, like you said, Dave, you're going to be there 3 times. You can schedule that next appointment just like the dentist. But if you're new to my shop, we really want to have a baseline on your car. And you know, the shops with an oil change, they do a cursory inspection. But, you know, look up the word cursory, and you'll see what your inspection's worth.
Of little value.
But the cynical side of me says, you know, we look at your oil change because there's an opportunity to sell things. That's obvious. But don't let that get in the way of being open and objective and having the shop do a full inspection on your car. I always say, in perfect timing too, the beginning of the year, it's like getting on the scale. You may not want to see what that scale says. You may not like that number. Oftentimes I don't. Same thing with your car. Let's establish a baseline. Hey, the thing might be perfect and the number might be right on the button, right where you want it, but it may not be. Or we're going to be able to predict so that you can budget. We might be able to look at your car and say, Mrs. Sally or whatever, the brakes have 8 millimeters of pad life left, and based on the mileage, you probably should be budgeting for those in July. And we can help predict some of these things, and then we can help prevent too.
Oh, absolutely.
By just doing that inspection.
And one of the things that comes up, and right now you're listening to this, and I'm telling you right now, you have a 30% chance of buying a battery this year. I'm telling you that. Because if you have not bought a battery for your car in the last 2 years, you're going to buy one this year. It's going to happen. It's inevitable. You can choose to buy a battery for your car when you want to, or your car can choose for you. So do you want to end up on the side of the road? And, they do mobile battery deliveries, but sometimes that's a cut-rate battery with a cut-rate install, and so it's not necessarily taking care of your car the right way. I'd rather somebody be in a shop where there's all kinds of tools and things to work with to really service a battery and do it right. So, when you're at the shop, and you're there 3 times a year, say, how old is my battery? Because I don't remember the last time I bought a battery. And there's a date stamp on every battery, okay? And if it's north of 30 months, maybe it's time to just get one.
Just consider it. And most shops do. I know most of the bumper shops do a battery test. We do one every single time the car comes in. So if you need one, ask for an Interstate Battery. You find them at most of the bumper-to-bumper radio shops, interstatebatteries.com, hence the name. They are nationwide. So it doesn't matter if you're on Interstate 10, Interstate 80, Interstate whatever it is, 95 in the east, you will find a battery for your car and someone to help you service it.
I've been working in an auto shop since I was 16 years old, and I have yet to work in an auto shop that doesn't carry Interstate batteries. And I think that just goes to show it's been around. It's a long brand. You can get it warranted anywhere, which is fantastic.
Amen.
So anyhow, when we come back, we're taking your phone calls at 602-277-5827, 602-277-KTAR. We can talk about anything in relation to your car. You got a whistle, going down the highway. You got some sort of weird vibration. Your car seems like it takes a little, it just goes before it finally starts up. Anything like that, I'm sure we can help with it. Maybe you got some annoying check engine light that just keeps coming back and someone never really tells you why it's coming on. We're taking your calls, 602-277-5827.
Get breaking news and your favorite KTAR news personalities on your time with the KTAR News app. Stream us live or get podcasts on demand. Download the KTAR News app for Android or iPhone now. Live streaming audio on the KTAR News app is presented by Sanderson Ford.
There's nothing more important than family. Hi, Kurt Rock for Kurt's Auto Repair. Family owned and operated and bumper-to-bumper radio preferred. We've been taking care of Valley families and their auto care needs with a perfect Better Business record for over 27 years. Come experience the difference our ASE MasterTechs can make for you and your family at Kurt's Auto Repair. Just east of I-17 at 22nd Avenue and Bell Road, or online at mycarhurts.com. Gas or diesel, foreign or domestic. If your car hurts, take it to Kurt's.
3 world-class resorts and 6 award-winning golf courses. That's what awaits you at the J.W. Marriott Luxury Golf Group. In Scottsdale, the legendary J.W. Marriott Camelback Inn and Golf Club with 36 holes of renowned golf at the Herds and Fry Ambiente and Arthur Hills Padre courses. In Tucson, the scenic J.W. Marriott Star Pass Resort and Spa with 27 holes of Arnold Palmer Signature Golf. And in Phoenix, the Faldo and Palmer courses at the spectacular Wildfire Golf Club at the J.W. Marriott Desert Ridge Resort. Come experience the J.W. Marriott Luxury Golf Group.
There we go. Got to push that button. Well, this other console on the left side over here has had a light burned out for, 6 months.
Too bad they don't know a real technician.
Hello, engineering. We get some equipment fixed here in the studio. I was waiting for them to start singing Car Wash. Oh, God, that was horrible.
I was starting to shake because I know I'm going to be doing some dancing here come New Year's Eve.
Is that right?
I'm going to have a little liquid courage and do some dancing and...
well, that was supposed to be the Car Wash song. I forget what movie that came out of or whatever, but Car Wash, that was it. Well, duh. See, tells you what I know. Anyway, Bumper to Bumper Radio, we're back. Matt and Dave, as always, 11 o'clock, Saturdays, helping you with the car. 602-277-5827, 602-277-KTAR.
Well, we got Conrad and Martin and a couple more filing in, Matt, but I'm looking here on the text. I just got a text here. Just moved back to the Valley. I have an older Audi TT. It's only ever been maintenance by one mechanic, and now I need a good Audi technician in the East Valley. And one of the things I think about when somebody says I live in the East Valley, some people live in the East Valley, but they work in the West Valley. You know, I mean, a lot of people commute a long way. So I consider, is it by my house or by my work? Those two things are important. So if, you know, as far as, you know, in the East Valley, yes, there's plenty of people that can work on Audis. But I do want to take a minute to say, because you're in Central Phoenix.
I am in Central Phoenix.
And you guys do a lot of those German cars.
Yes, we do. So my shop, Virginia Auto Service, 7th Street in Virginia. That's kind of where the name comes from. But, yeah, we work on a ton of Volkswagens and Audis and German cars. And you know, Dave, most of our clientele and customers don't live near us. More and more of them are. But our business is more set up for the people that commute and work downtown.
Oh, yeah.
Central Phoenix. They come in, they drop off their car. We service it while they're at work. Pick it up in the afternoon typically. So
well, and you just completely, if you camp out in the East Valley, we got Mesa Auto Works, completely capable of servicing. You know,
yeah, and the bottom line is actually just go to bumpertobumperradio.com. You're going to find my shop, any other capable shop there that can take care of your cars, whether it's your Audi or your Dodge or your Pontiac or whatever it is. We've got you covered.
For sure. All right, let's get to the phones. We're going to go with Conrad in Surprise. He's got a 2014 Chevy Sonic. How can we help you, Conrad? You're on Bumper to Bumper Radio.
Good morning. How you guys doing this morning?
Fantastic.
Good. Hey, I have a quick question. Actually, I have two questions for you. The Sonic is my wife's car, and every time she fuels up, it won't start. Doesn't matter whether it's quarter tank, half tank, it will not start. She has to really, keep pumping the fuel pedal in order for it to finally, catch and kind of go. So I was kind of wondering if you could tell me, is that the fuel pump, you think?
I don't know.
This thing is still probably under warranty yet, or is it just out of warranty?
We bought the car because we travel. She travels a long way. It's actually a 2014, and it has about 165,000 miles on it.
Okay, just a tad out of warranty.
Do you have any check engine light, Conrad, or any other symptoms, or it just simply doesn't?
You know what? It does, and it has an Air 73 indicator in there. I took it to a mechanic not too long ago to try to help us out, and he kept it 5 weeks, and the car came back in worse condition. Most of the gauges, indicator lights, and gauges don't work anymore. So that was my second question to you guys is, can you help me find a reputable mechanic?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and like we've been saying, bumpertobumperradio.com. Why don't you start there and see if you can find somebody in your neighborhood. But as far as the problem that I'm thinking about, if it's not, it doesn't start after fueling. So I'm thinking some sort of evaporative system failure. The car is ingesting raw fuel probably. Probably pumping the gas has absolutely nothing to do with it. That's just a little placebo effect, if you will. So in the meantime, I mean, you need to get a car fixed, get somebody to look at it. It shouldn't be that difficult to figure out. You could just hold it wide open throttle maybe to make it start easier, or just don't put gas in it. Who knows? Just get it fixed. But
no. Yeah. I mean, in the modern car, as far as pumping the throttle, there's no cable that runs out to the engine that does anything. In the old days, you would pump the throttle, get a car to start. But the modern fuel injecting car, it's not going to work that way.
Nope, not at all.
But placebo effect, huh? A little sugar pill for your
makes you
car.
Feel good, yeah. I was doing this, so must have worked.
All right, thanks for the call, Conrad. 602-277-5827. We're going to go with Martin in Santan Valley, 2004 Ford Ranger. How can we help you, Martin?
Good morning. Well, the issue is when I'm driving the truck, it drives fine. If I come to a stoplight, all of a sudden my engine light will start flashing and it'll want to die, and but it just runs really rough. And then when I take off, it doesn't want to do anything. It doesn't want to go past 15, and then all of a sudden it'll kick in and take off. So, but before that happens, I don't ever. I didn't throw a code or anything. I don't have any engine lights or anything on.
When you say the engine light starts flashing, what color is that light?
It's orange.
Okay.
Orange yellow.
Well, the engine light flashes. When you have a check engine light flashing, that means that the car has a misfire. The engine is misfiring. So maybe your code reader just isn't capable of reading the codes. It may not be the right one or whatever it is to read the code. Or I guess another thing could be happening, Dave. It's setting a code, but maybe the keep alive memory in the computer, there's a fuse blown or something, so it resets the memory every time. But that's not the problem. Those are just symptoms of your bigger problem, which there's clearly a misfire. And maybe that misfire clears up while you're driving for whatever reason, because the vacuum leak isn't as severe.
You're going to feel it running rough at idle, where you may not feel it running rough at a cruise, and you're going to feel it running rough when you're accelerating. But once you're going 15, 20, 30 miles an hour, it's going to dissipate as you go.
Right, but he even had a hard time getting past 15. So let's find out why there isn't a code in there. We've verified the light's working because it's flashing, but something's not adding up here. And
you said something that was interesting. That maybe his code reader isn't working right, and people don't realize that because there's all these little devices you can get from the cell phone company that you can plug into your car, and it supposedly is going to diagnose your car for you and fix everything. And make
there's
everything
one
better.
I saw. I'd never pay a mechanic ever again.
Yeah,
just this for $19.
Fantastic.
So save yourself.
But,
right?
but what those things are is they do give you information, but sometimes bad information is worse than no information at all. Okay.
Yeah.
I have seen so many people go on wild goose chases because they get a code reader as seen on TV. They plug it in. They get some information. And the information is actually wrong because between the different manufacturers, the numbers mean different things, and some of these inexpensive code readers have bad information, or they didn't, because the people that produce that thing got to go out to the manufacturer, pay them some money to get their information.
Yeah, and it's broad stroke. So some of these they might refer, certain codes they might be able to say there's a likelihood of this component fixing it, but that is such a broad stroke statement, and very rarely ever do you have a code. Well, first off, the code doesn't say you have a bad oxygen sensor. It's a code that says the oxygen sensor is registering or reading something, but very rarely is that the actual part that the code may indicate is the problem.
Yeah,
Not often.
So just be careful on those. They are a source of information, and if you're curious and you want to plug into your car, that's totally fine. I don't see any problem with that. I just don't want to run out and take that information to the bank.
Well, but like in your case, Dave, a lot of these code readers will only read the engine computer. They won't go in there and read the transmission control module. So then so it's also inadequate information. Oh, there's nothing wrong with the transmission. There's no transmission codes. Well, didn't know where to look.
For sure. When we come back, we've got Gina, we've got John in Surprise, and we got Andy in Glendale. And time for more calls at 602-277-5827.
Having an accident is stressful. Dealing with the repair process shouldn't be. Hi, Leo Petrozella for Campus Body Salon. The right to choose a repair facility is yours, not the insurance companies. We work with all insurance companies, but we work for you. Campus Body Salon, bumper-to-bumper radio approved and independently family-owned and operated since 1973. Check out our Cash for Your Crash program where we pay you 10% off of your repair up to $1,000. Campus Body Salon, the best care in collision repair.
Hi, I'm Dave Riccio, owner of Tri-City Transmission. Well, you may have come to know us for being a transmission expert. What you may not know is that our customers regularly ask us why we don't perform repairs to the rest of the vehicle. You guys are so great. Why work on just the transmission? Well, the requests became hard to ignore, and 3 years ago, we began to build an infrastructure to perform general automotive repair. We weren't going to do general repair if we couldn't be great at it. So in 2013, we began the soft opening of Tri-City Auto Repair on Smith Road. We brought on ASE Master Technicians to work side by side with our Master Transmission Technicians. The combination of the best in both of these trades has created a synergy that allows us not only to fix your transmission, but to service and repair your whole car, and to do it well. Let's face it, the modern car has become so integrated. We believe all of our expert knowledge puts us ahead of the curve. Find us at TriCityTransmission.com or TempeAutoRepairShop.com. That's TempeAutoRepairShop.com.
It sounds like they've just had the accurate automotive experience. We're family-owned and operated and have served the Mesa, Tempe, Gilbert communities for over 22 years. We focus on building long-lasting relationships and, listening to you so that we can understand, meet, and exceed your expectations. One location, 14 bays, 88 years of automotive expertise, and a passionate commitment to customer service and excellence. My name is Lee Weatherby, and I approve this message because it's true. We love what we do, and we want to do it for you. Accurate Automotive, the home of friends serving friends.
Arizona's news station. KTAR. On air, 92.3 FM. Online at KTAR.com. And streaming live on the KTAR News app. Your breaking news and traffic now.
It's 11:30. I'm Tom Perumian. Here's our top story. The State Department has released emails from Huma Abedin, the top aide to Hillary Clinton, that were found by the FBI on her husband's laptop. Some of the emails found on former Representative Anthony Weiner's laptop were marked classified. It was unclear whether they were deemed classified at the time they were sent or when the State Department was preparing them for release. The emails were released in response to a lawsuit filed by the conservative watchdog group Judicial Watch. Protesters are filling the streets in the capital of Iran today for a government-sponsored protest. The demonstration comes a week after President Trump tweeted support for anti-government protests across the country earlier in the week.
The United States has warned Iran that the world is watching as thousands of pro-government demonstrators join rallies in Tehran. They follow days of anti-government protests over alleged corruption and poor living standards, in which dozens have been arrested.
That's ABC's James Longman from London. A New York City spokesman says a building in which a fire raced through an open door and up a stairwell, killing a dozen people, was required to have self-closing doors. Department of Housing Preservation and Development spokesman Matthew Cragen says the investigators will look at why the door did not close in Thursday night's Bronx fire. Now let's get a check on traffic. We go to Mike Daniels in the KTAR Traffic Center.
Well, thank you, Tom. We do have an injury accident involving a bicycle at 7th Street in Osborne, a wreck in Peoria at 75th and Peoria Avenue, and a collision 7th Avenue and Roosevelt. This report brought to you by Smokey's Garage Door. Is your garage door squeaking, rattling, or just not working? The pros at Smokey's Garage Door will get you back on track fast. Free estimates and same-day service available. Just click Smokey'sGarageDoor.com. I'm Mike Daniels, KTAR News.
Checking weather, clear and 75 today. It'll be cloudy tomorrow, and clouds will stick around into the new year. We'll see highs in the 70s, lows in the 40s and 50s. Right now, it's 71 degrees in Carefree. Weather brought to you by Howard Air. I'm Tom Perumian on Arizona's news station, KTAR News.
Trust. It's hard to earn and sometimes even harder to find. If you live or work in downtown Phoenix, Matt Allen's Virginia Auto Service is celebrating over 20 years of award-winning service at the corner of 7th Street and Virginia. Recognized as one of the best service shops in the country, their customers have come to trust Virginia Auto Service for its A+ rating by the BBB, 2-year 24,000-mile warranties, and free transportation to and from your home or office. 20+ years of earning your trust. Virginia Auto Service. They're serious about service.
Hello, this is Jerry Colangelo. When I moved to Phoenix in 1968, the iconic golf courses at the Wigwam and the Arizona Biltmore golf clubs were a few of my favorites. A few years ago, my partners and I purchased these historic Arizona golf courses with the goal of putting the shine back on these extraordinary properties. Today, I'm proud of what has been accomplished and invite you to experience the Wigwam Golf Club and the Arizona Biltmore Golf Club for yourself. Visit wigwamgolf.com or azbiltmoregc.com for tee times and information.
Here's what Carrie from Tempe had to say about her experience with Good Works Auto Repair.
As soon as you realize, I need to get some work done on my car, I'm sure the thought occurs to you that you're about to get taken for a ride. I used to share the same sentiment and wondered if the shop was going to make something up and have me spending hundreds of dollars instead of $30 I was planning on for a simple oil change. This is one of the reasons I will only go to Good Works Auto Repair. Because I trust them. Putting trust in an auto shop didn't come easily. It's been built over several visits with them doing exactly what was needed, not coercing me into unnecessary work. Ask them for an oil change and a safety inspection, they do just that. No baloney, list of filters, belts, and whatchamacallits that need replacing on my new car. Thank you, Good Works Auto Repair, for being there for me when I need you.
Appreciate the kind words. It's always a pleasure. Glenn Hayward here. Come experience what award-winning auto service should be. Good Works Auto Repair in Tempe, or visit us at goodworksautorepair.com.
Few cities are as car-centric as Phoenix, and this is the show that'll help you to better understand that machine you depend on to get around the valley. It's Bumper to Bumper Radio. KTAR News on 92.3 FM and the KTAR app for Android and iPhone.
Well, welcome back to Bumper Radio. I am Dave Riccio here along with Matt Allen, and we are your KTAR car guys. Heard it here every Saturday. We're helping you with your car. You can reach us at 602-277-5827. 602-277-KTAR, talking about New Year's resolutions. And one of the things that came up, Matt, was to have a relationship with a shop. And you're saying, I don't even know where to start. I'm new here in the Valley. I was having this conversation with a guy the other day. He goes, I just moved here. I don't know where to take my car. I'm like, yeah, if you go to the phone book, it's just a crapshoot, isn't it? And he's like, yeah, it really is. He didn't
say what's a phone book.
I know. Well, yeah, no. But yeah, if you just go to the internet, he's like, yeah, it totally is. But I'm telling you what, if you're new to the Valley, I'm telling you right now, you don't have a shop and maybe you're still just kind of orphaning out there, go to bumpertobumperradio.com. Okay, Bumper to Bumper Radio, it is this radio show. We're helping inform you about your car. But there's a website there full of good qualified shops that can take care of most any brand of car. They're perfectly capable. The guy that was calling last segment on a Sonic, any of those shops on Bumper to Bumper Radio, no problem. We are going to run into hard cars, but we are going to figure them out. On occasion we run into that kind of stuff. So one of the shops you're going to find at Bumper to Bumper Radio is Virginia Auto Service, and I'm going to take a minute to talk about it. You hear Matt here on the show every weekend, and he's here to, help, public information. This is how you take care of your car, that kind of thing. But he also has a very well-established auto repair shop in Central Phoenix, and they work on whether you got a BMW, you got an Audi, you want to take your Chevrolet down there, and they work on everything down there. And you know what's cool about your shop, Matt, that I like about it? You got bicycles there for people. Take their car in. They can take a bicycle, and they can ride it to work, or they can go ride it around and entertain themselves while you're changing their oil. But it's really cool, that the crew that you built there over the years. Just because you open an auto shop doesn't mean you magically have a great crew.
No, it doesn't. That's for sure.
It takes years to develop an auto shop. And so how many years have you been there?
Oh, boy. Actually, Tuesday will be 24 years. It'll be the start of the 24th year, yeah.
That's awesome.
I got the keys to the joint the day after Thanksgiving of 94 and opened, so 23 years, opened January 2nd of 1995 was my first day in business.
So if you're anywhere near downtown, and you know what? If you're not near downtown, sometimes, the bigger the purchase or the bigger the repair, the further you should be willing to drive. And when it comes, I think the stakes are high when it comes to auto repair because it's the second biggest purchase you're going to have going on. So, you don't necessarily want to, and that's back to our point of the New Year's resolution. You got to have a plan. Mm-hmm. You got to have a plan to take care of your car because I see people that are broke because of the way they handle their car situations. Because they either do the deferred maintenance, and now their engine is blown. Okay? Right. And now they got to spend $8,000 when they could have spent, if you added up all the oil changes, $500 all along the way.
Or they go, well, I don't have the money to fix the car, and I'm upside down on the car, or maybe they're right side up on the car, but now that it's blown up, now it's not worth anything. So then they go in this perpetual car payment program. You go take this car, and that's upside down, then you go roll that debt into another car that you probably paid too much for and maybe made a bad decision because you weren't prepared, because you weren't expecting to buy a car. You forced yourself into it.
Knee-jerk.
And
reactive.
Now you've got a car that you're making one car payment, but you're paying for two cars. And, and the chances of the same history repeating itself are pretty good.
Eventually that runs out for some people. I had this lady in this car the other day, and I'm like, you just need a different car. Get rid of this car. Don't fix this car. She's like, I can't. I'm financially stuck here. I got to fix the car. And I get that, and that comes up, but it is a series of probably some bad car decisions along the way. Could be. And I don't know her whole story, but right. I'm just saying that I see the car just keep people poor. So auto repair is a big deal, and you do need a good shop. And if you're an orphan, stop. Go to bumpertobumperradio.com. You'll find shops like Virginia Auto Service there in Central Phoenix. Matt, we've got Chris and Andy, Don, John, but we're going to get to Gina in Phoenix. She's got a 1989 Chevy Blazer. How can we help you, Gina? You're on Bumper to Bumper Radio.
Hello, yes. I'm not an orphan anymore. I've been going to Dave's for a while.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, I'm actually going to make an appointment to go next week. Okay, so here's my problem. I moved, so I went to another place. It's fine. I'm saying names. It's fine. Okay, here's my problem. Since middle of August, it's starting to feel like it's dragging, but it doesn't do it all the time. I can drive. It doesn't stall out. It doesn't seem like it's going to stall out. My fuel filter was 3 years old, and my fuel pump 7 to 8 years old. But the problem is when I drive, it feels like it's going to stall out, like it's not getting enough gas. But I can get up to 41. I drive residential driving. Now, I've gone on the expressway a few times. I got up to 65, no problem. But mostly when I drive home at night, it seems like, it's like, do I got enough gas? What happened? What's going on? Because my gas gauge ain't working. It's kind of like it blinks on and off once in a while. It works. It's electronic.
Right.
So I guess. But I did it tonight when I drove home, but then didn't do it the day before. So I don't know. I mean, it's like someone says you need spark plug. I got new spark plugs in May, but I didn't get the wires, which I should have got the wires.
Well, you know what you need to do, Gina? I mean, it sounds like it's a little bit intermittent. Maybe it does it. Sometimes it doesn't. There's a lot of speculation. If you've been going to Dave's and just because you moved, it's worth just going back to where you've been. They've got a little bit of history with your car. It's stored in their system. They know all about it. The same guys are probably going to be working on it. And it's one of those deals where same thing you're talking about, Dave. The bigger the purchase, or if you're comfortable there, what's another $30 or $40? Just schedule and get a rental car.
Mm-hmm.
In the grand scheme of thing, you could go to the wrong shop. Make a bad choice on a shop. I mean, sometimes it's a crapshoot, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you can waste more than the cost of a rental car than just going and sticking with your regular guy. Because I guarantee you, go over there to Dave's Car Care where you've been going, they're not going to be guessing. It's not going to be, it might be spark plugs, maybe it's the fuel filter. No. I mean, it's really going to be a systematic approach to diagnosing the car and providing you with a recommendation that's going to fix it.
One point out, we got to get these phone calls, but one point I want to make, the first step in any diagnostic process is to verify the customer's concern. We have to start there. So on intermittent issues, if you are dealing with an intermittent issue of your car, and I'm just talking to everybody, sometimes you got to either kind of get the pattern for it to give to the shop, when is it happening, or you got to be willing to give them your car for a little bit longer so they can try it through some different drive cycles, hot in the morning, hot in the afternoon, cool in the morning, maybe lunchtime, all that kind of stuff. So good luck with that, Gina. Let's go with John in Surprise. He's got a 2004 Cadillac Escalade. How can we help you, John? You're on Bumper to Bumper Radio.
Good morning, guys. I have, so on my Escalade, it shows up service stability, and my calipers are locking up. I was told originally that my two main computer units are going bad, but then somebody else told me that no, the main computer units would have nothing to do with the brakes or anything like that.
What do you mean by locking? What the calipers are locking up? What's happening to make you say that?
So, and sometimes it'll take 2 blocks, sometimes 20 miles. But what will happen is eventually when I come to a stop, the brakes are frozen and they're locked up, and I can't move. If I let it sit for a few hours, or I disconnect the battery and connect it back up, it usually unlocks the brakes so I can drive again. But that's what they do, is you'll come to a stop, or just even if you're slowing down and you take your foot off the brake, you can tell that the brakes aren't releasing, and it's like still slowing you down.
If you don't let it sit for a long time and they were locked and you immediately opened the hood, disconnected the battery, reconnected the battery, would they still be locked, or would they unlock by?
You know what? I don't know. It did it once, I know, because I didn't let it sit at all, and I tried that, and it did. But then another time I tried disconnecting the battery and putting it back, and it did not unlock.
Okay.
Man, it sounds like to me like he's got brakes that are dragging for one reason or another. And what happens is as you drive and they're dragging, everything expands because it's getting hot. And pretty soon it brings the car to a halt. We've ran into this on a couple of occasions where someone thinks they got a transmission problem because this is going on. And one of the tools that I love for brakes dragging is that little infrared gun you could shoot at the wheel. And just see how hot the wheel is, because maybe it's not all the brakes. Maybe you find out that one wheel happens to be getting way hotter. That's a good piece of information as far as what may be going on there.
And inside the body control module in that car, or possibly the air ABS module, if that stability light is on, there's going to be some sort of fault code stored there. And we oftentimes go back to that, but that's the good place to start. It could be a code that gets set falsely or something like that. You might have a mechanical issue tricking the car into thinking there's an electrical issue, or possibly I haven't heard of it, but the electronics holding brake pressure on the car doesn't seem to make sense to me. I don't think that's an at-home fix, though.
No.
That needs to get to a shop and figure it out.
Yeah, it needs to be a senior technician that knows their business. So.
Yeah.
It's time for Fact or Fiction.
Yeah, that clip comes up once in a while. So the fact or fiction for the day. All right, Matt, let's see how sharp you are this morning. You don't have the brown bottle blues yet from New Year's Eve.
I don't get those.
No.
My tequila comes in a clear bottle.
Okay. Excellent point. So the manual transmission is more fuel efficient than the automatic transmission.
See.
Fact or fiction?
Oh, fact or fiction. I thought it was yes or no.
Shucky-doo. What can you do with that?
Well, it's fact. I mean, maybe not still fact today, but historically, the manual transmission cars always got better fuel mileage. I kind of remember seeing on the sticker. You see the claims and the little asterisk.
Yeah.
This is for the 19-speed manual transmission.
If you notice, they've almost become identical, and you see fewer and fewer manual transmissions actually on the road. I think manuals are more fun to drive,
Mm-hmm.
But, I loved them when I was younger, but I love the automatic, too.
Yeah.
So, but, the other thing, though,
it's
you see...
to text and drive without having to shift. I mean, it really gets in the way.
But if you had a same car, you had a manual version, an automatic version, and then a CVT version, okay, the automatic and manual are almost the same, okay? And then the CVT is actually a little bit more fuel
better?
efficient.
Yeah.
That's why the push for CVT transmissions, even though they kind of stink.
Yeah.
They're crummy transmissions. So anyhow, when we come back, we've got Chris and Andy and Don in Scottsdale. You listen to Matt and Dave, Bumper to Bumper Radio.
Having an accident is stressful. Dealing with the repair process shouldn't be. Hi, Leo Petrozella for Campus Body Salon. We've taken the stress out of collision repair since 1973, and here's a couple of tips to de-stress your repair. Make your own choice. Some insurance companies try to convince you that you must use their approved shop for your repair. Not true. Arizona state law allows you to choose the facility that's right for you. Beware of the cheapest estimate. Typically, it's the one from the insurance company cutting corners to trim costs or focusing on appearance only. At Campus Body Salon, appearance is important, but structural integrity and safety are even more critical. Campus Body Salon, independent, family-owned and operated, and bumper-to-bumper radio approved. Check out our Cash for Your Crash program where we pay you 10% off of your repair up to $1,000. Campus Body Salon, the best care in collision repair.
Ouch! Being out of tune is no fun, and maybe even a little painful. Hi, this is Lee Weatherby, owner of Accurate Automotive in Mesa. At Accurate, we are a family-owned and operated one-stop automotive repair shop that specializes in building long-term relationships that are in tune with your needs, not ours. We've been recognized nationally as one of the top shops in the country, but for over 20 years, our priority has stayed focused on providing quality automotive service and repair at a fair price. I invite you to come in and see the difference an in-tune relationship can make for you and your car. With our free courtesy inspection, a $49 value, we feel it is well worth our investment in you because we believe good long-term relationships start early with your first walk through our doors. Accurate Automotive, home of friends serving friends, just off Broadway and Robson in Mesa since 1992. For more information, check us out online at accurateautomotiveaz.com today.
You don't want to see me dance. It is not pretty. I've been told by my wife that's the case. That's why I need the liquid courage.
When we were having our little party, Dave, Edith really missed you. She had the salsa music going.
Oh, yeah.
All that Mexican stuff. And
I can't help my stuff. My body just starts moving, and it's not, I'm the guy doing the worm across the floor and the sprinkler and the Q-tip dance and the lawnmower.
You twerking the last time I saw you. I was like, Dave, come on, the G-string and that? All that hair in the back.
So gross.
It's horrible. Well, welcome back to Bumper Radio. Now that we got some of that dirty laundry out of the way, we're going to get back to your car. So the theme today, as we go through this last little segment, we started off talking about the New Year's resolution of your car. Let's make a happy car, happy life, happy wife, happy life, something like that, right? So
I say love your car, be nice to your wife.
I know she listens once in a while, Dave. So
I don't think she's listening today.
Yeah, she's probably tired of hearing you. Much like my wife.
It's the last thing I want to do.
But so we want to keep our car clean. Let's keep it clean. Everybody will treat your car better if it's clean, including yourself. You just feel better about it. Get all the garbage out of it. Start the year off with a detail. Go get the thing washed, cleaned up. Be happy with it. Get it checked out. Make sure it's in good shape. If it's not in perfect shape, ask for the list. Come up with a plan for the year. And
also, if you think it's time to part with a car and you're gonna put the thing out to pasture, if this is the year you do it and you think you want to do it, you start planning early. Plan early, so don't wait for it to break before you decide to buy another car.
Yeah, the worst time to have to buy a car is when you have to buy a car. Buy a car when you want to buy the car. Do your shopping, do your due diligence, go rent it before you buy. Go rent one you want to drive, go look around. And so you're not forced into a decision because that's when we make bad choices.
Well, we've got Don, we've got Chris, and we're going to go with Andy in Glendale. He's got a Ram with a dual battery question. How can we help you, I know how we can help you. What's going on with your batteries?
Andy.
Hi, guys. Great to be able to talk to you guys. So a couple of weeks ago, about a week ago, I noticed my voltage meter was a little low when I was trying to start the truck. It was a little slow to start. So I checked the two batteries and used a hydrometer, I guess you call it. And one of the batteries showed it was low, so I put it on a good charge overnight. And it seems to be running okay now and starting okay, and the voltage is back up. But the question is, when I do need to replace the battery, do I need to replace both of them, or can I just replace one of them? Because one's probably for the glow plugs to get the engine started, and the other's for everything else, I assume.
Well, I know that they kind of work together on some of that stuff, but I know that when you have a weak one, it takes the other one out too. So I think replacing on a diesel as a pair is a good way to go. That's just my thinking.
Yeah, there's no have to. You can do whatever you want, but it just makes sense. Put them both in. They are connected, so it makes sense that one would draw from the other one.
Right, and when we test the batteries at our shop, we unplug one. We test one at a time because you can't really test them both.
Yeah, they have to be isolated for
and get good readings from them. So I personally, my personal preference is I prefer to replace both batteries, and you just know, I mean, you got to buy two batteries at a time, and if you need a good one, Interstate Battery is a great source.
Yeah, maybe look at the AGM battery, absorbed glass mat, more expensive, but they're better, especially with all the shaking and abuse from a diesel truck. It's maybe something to consider.
For sure. Thanks for the call, Andy. We're going to go with Chris in Phoenix. Looks like some sort of Nissan van fleet vehicle question. How can we help? Chris, you're on Bumper to Bumper Radio.
Morning. Just a couple maintenance questions. One would be, do you recommend fuel injection cleaner, and if so, what brand?
Yes. Fuel injection cleaner as in something to put in the fuel tank, or fuel injection cleaning services done in a shop? Or both?
In the fuel tank.
Okay. Well, we'll talk about both. Yes, the answer, I like them. It's good for maintenance. The byproduct of the combustion is carbon. And just carbon buildup, just like your chimney. It's gonna cause some soot and some buildup, and those injectors over time will get dirty. But I always tell people it's not necessarily the injector that we're cleaning. We're also using the injector to deliver the fuel or the mixture of cleaner that then is going to come in contact with the carbon and remove the carbon. So yes, I believe in them. There's several different ones. The best one I think is BG, but you can only buy it in a shop. It's called BG 44K. Techron, which is already in your top-tier fuels that you get at QT. And most all the gas stations now have top-tier fuel. But Chevron sells the product called Techron. You can buy that at Chevron gas stations and put it in the car. You can also find it at Costco. I think it's under ProGuard or something like that. But it still has the chevrons on it, the Standard Oil symbol. So I like that.
He's got a fleet of vehicles, so I think he's wanting to be smart. I got these 20 vehicles. How do I manage these vehicles? And the one thing I would say about the fuel injection services, there's some of them that are worthless. That you could buy at a shop, and it's like I've gone to this one particular car wash, and they go, oh, you need a fuel injection service. I'm like, oh, really? Why? Well, because it's scheduled, and they start all this BS that they give me, and they have no idea what I do for a living. And so I just let them roll for a little while. So I know what the consumers, our listeners, are hearing from other sources, and so there is some waste of money. So great question, and I like Matt what he's saying. Yes, it is a good idea, but don't do it if it's a bad service, because it could be a waste of money.
Well, he was mostly talking about the additives in the tank, and so in that case, there are those that Seafoam, BG, Techron. Make sure you're getting good fuel, which you probably are, because it's everywhere now, the top tier fuel. And then as far as frequency, maybe right before each oil change. Now, if you read the Techron container, I think it says no more than twice during one oil change, to use the product. So, and then having the fuel injectors cleaned, if they can do it in 15 minutes at a quick lube place, it's probably not worth doing.
For sure. Well, let's go with Don in Scottsdale. He's got a 2013 RX 350. How can we help you, Don? You're on Bumper to Bumper Radio.
Hi, good morning. Thanks for taking my call. So I have a question for you. I got into a car accident a couple of weeks ago where the driver ran a red light and T-boned me, and fortunately just hit the back wheel and bent the wheel in a little bit. And I've kind of found out through the repair shop and the person I bought the car from about diminished value of the car. And, what's the best way to try to figure out the airbag deployed? And there's a possibility that the shock tower is bent. Mm-hmm. And I feel like I'm really getting penalized on this accident, not due to my fault. And now the car is going to be really hard to sell because of the accident and airbag deployment, and et cetera. What do you suggest I do?
Well, first of all, don't take that insurance company's advice on which body shop to go to. All right? I don't know what part of town. Well, you're in Scottsdale. Yeah. So I'm going to say go right to somebody who can really help you with this. Go to Campus Auto Body. They're right there in Tempe, right off the river bottom, and they can kind of help you, guide you through that. And they're really good at getting for you what you deserve based off this accident that's somebody else's fault. So you don't want to get caught, holding the bag, but they can walk you through that. Talk to Aaron, talk to Todd, or talk to Leo. Fantastic body shop. And you're not, if the car is repaired right, there's no reason that's not still a good car. And every car is going to get in an accident. It's going to happen. So I don't think the car is going to be totally diminished value.
And real quick, but for what diminished value for a lot of people that don't know they're listening, if your car is wrecked from somebody else's fault, and it's going to mostly be a newer car and a more expensive car, the car technically loses some value, because if you took two cars that are identical, one is crashed and one hasn't been crashed, the one that hasn't is technically worth more money, so you should be compensated for that at the time of the collision. So good question.
For sure. Well, thanks for joining us. Thanks, Tom, for running the dials. If you're looking for a friendly, honest, competent shop because you're an orphan customer, or you just moved here, or you just haven't had a home, bumper-to-bumperradio.com. From all the shops at bumper-to-bumperradio.com, have a safe New Year's Eve. Talk to you later.